The Recon Kit in Battlefield 3 is a constant source of frustration for a dozen different reasons. Like most things in modern video games, especially first-person shooters, there is no shortage of complaints coming from the community. In Battlefield 3, the Recon Kit as a whole may draw the most. It's not uncommon to hear or read people complaining about every aspect of the kit, from the weapons to the equipment to the playstyles you seem to be forced into. In this video, I want to break down the Recon Kit and see what we could do differently to make it universally better. First and foremost, let me say that this is all my opinion. I've combed through the community and picked up a wide variety of ideas. Some are good and some are bad. There's a good chance this won't please everyone, but keep in mind that I have no control over the changes to the game, and I'm really just saying this for the sake of conversation. The first aspect we need to look at in the Recon Kit is probably the most obvious, and will fittingly be the biggest change I'm going to suggest. The weapons. Change them. It's been said countless times, it's called Recon, not Sniper. It's time we reinforce this thought through the available primary weapons. Remove the sniper rifles. While die-hard bolt-action lovers and montage makers alike will surely hate this, they have to go. They simply don't fit in the game, and frankly, there's no easy way to balance them. Making a sniper rifle a one-hit kill makes them overpowered up close, and making them take 2 shots from a distance makes them damn near useless. In place of the big boy snipers, the Recon Kit should have a selection of primaries similar to the current selection of PDWs in Battlefield 3. Giving the Recon these compact weapons would allow for a more mobile play style and would promote players to get up in the action, and along with proper use of some tweaked equipment and attachments, the new Recon player could be much more effective than he was laid out on the hill 400 meters away. Now this isn't much different than how a willing player could choose to use the Recon class, right? The difference is the equipment. The first piece of equipment we're going to look at is the respawn beacon. As it stands, the respawn beacon works well, and when used properly can be devastating to the enemy's defensive plans. A well-placed beacon can allow a continuous stream of friendly respawns behind the enemy lines or near an objective. I believe that keeping the respawn beacon basically the same but eliminating the snipers on a hill I mentioned before will greatly increase the overall effectiveness of the Recon Kit. The next piece of equipment that would be affected if I were calling the shots is the tugs, which is essentially a motion sensor. As it is now, the tugs, while occasionally used to help defend MCOMs or flags, are mostly thrown down by a sniper just before he flops on his belly a few hundred yards from anything that matters. This is an easy fix. Let's bring the throwable motion sensor balls from Bad Company 2 back. Being able to toss a motion sensor through a window or towards an MCOM to help a teammate is by far superior to the stationary tugs. Load out the Recon class with 2 or 3 throwable sensors that work on a 20-second timer and that can be reloaded through an ammo pack from the support player. This would play right into the mobile recon goal we're shooting for. Up next is the SOFLAM. As it is now, it's barely usable and players hardly have an incentive to even try. To fix the SOFLAM, it needs to be more mobile. We need to get rid of the need to place the SOFLAM on a surface. Once again, I'll reference Bad Company 2. The Recon Kit in Bad Company 2 used to have an ability to call in a mortar strike. This was accomplished by pulling up a pair of binoculars and lasing your target until the mortar strike landed. What I propose the SOFLAM become is a similar set of binoculars that, when engaged, can not only laser designate vehicles, but also has enhanced infantry spotting ability. The player could switch to the binoculars much like the engineer switches to his repair tool and raises them up by using the fire button. In addition, the player can still move while looking through the binoculars, although with decreased sensitivity. Finally, I would add a SOFLAM-like attachment for the Recon weapons only. Much like how the Assault class can choose to attach a grenade launcher or a shotgun to their primary, so could the Recon attach a laser designating device. This could allow for a more mobile designation ability at the expense of other attachments. I believe these changes to the SOFLAM would help give the Recon Kit a much more active role in the field, and while you'd still be technically helpless against vehicles, you could be a huge contributor to their destruction without the frustrations of the current SOFLAM characteristics. Finally, the MAV. Since it has been recently nerfed, the MAV will pose less annoyances to the majority of the community, but that's probably because it simply will be used less. If I were to keep the MAV, I would make it deploy and control similarly to the way it is now. However, I would add an ability to exit the MAV controller and have the MAV auto-hover where you left it, auto-spotting enemies and vehicles that wander into its range. The MAV could auto-hover in one area for a maximum of 60 seconds before it would short-circuit. This would allow the Recon to fly the MAV into potential hot zones to help scout the enemy for his team. When the MAV is hovering, it would be all too simple for the enemy to shoot it out of the sky. these changes would cause the MAV to be used more tactically and keep the MAV user in battle more often as opposed to in their own spawn. Alright guys, leave a comment down below as to what you think of these changes, and also leave another comment if you think I missed anything huge. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Hey guys, check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/fakethriller and twitter.com/snoof603.